Hi, everybody. Welcome, welcome. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Welcome, everybody. Hit that like button. Yes, we started a little bit late, because I had to get everything ready. Welcome. Do I have 55 people in the chat? Shout out to everybody. Let me share this with everybody. We live now. Welcome. I hope you guys are having a great, what is it, Eve? Christmas Eve if you celebrate. If not, hope you guys are having great restful mornings, afternoons if you have to work. I hope you get triple, double, quadruple pay for working on this holiday season. Everybody, we live now. Oh, hold up, y'all, because the family's over and everybody's got to come and say something. Everybody's got to say something. Everybody's got to come in and say something. Welcome, everybody. You said, I wish I'm at work, then have fun and drive to, is it Murrieta today? Was planning to visit Celeste Memorial today, tomorrow. Wow. Her memorial may be wiped down by then. My goodness. Are you talking about Flojo, the memorial? Sorry, this thing is like bothering me. The memorial outside of her house where they have like all the pictures, or do they have another area? Let me know where, like, is there another area or what? Let me know. Let me know. Welcome, everybody. Merry Christmas. If you don't celebrate, shout out to you. Thank you for being here on this holiday season. Welcome, welcome, respectfully to everybody. Watch out for those old folks driving to in oncoming traffic. You said why's it got to be the old folks, the Oleanji? What if it's the younger generation? And then I heard that in SoCal, there's like all these floodings or what's going on in SoCal? Flash floodings here in SoCal. I hope y'all are being careful, staying logical, and feeling cozy with people you choose to be with. Thank you. Hey, y'all be careful over there. Shout out to everybody from the SoCal, Southern California folks. Stay. See, this is the second pose. So there's tornado warnings and horrible rain. And yesterday, was it yesterday who Flojo was saying that there was like this concern about acid rain and stuff like that and whatnot? Or not acid rain, I'm sorry, like it rains and then the wind and there's like a concern about certain kinds of rain and water and whatnot. Yeah, so a lot of people are traveling today. Y'all be careful. Okay, stay safe. 3 feet of snow in the mountain. You're in 3 feet of snow in the mountains. Listen, as long as the Wi-Fi is working, whoop, it's all good, right? Welcome. Okay, so you're getting ready to head out to the res to be with family. Shout out to you. Shout out to your res. Everybody, welcome, welcome. It's 75. Ooh, but windy too. Okay. Um, check your email. I will definitely check my email. I have not had the chance. Everything that I'm getting. Interesting. Okay, I will check it when I get a chance. Thank you. I don't know. It's like not up. I have the iCloud, so it takes a minute to update, which really sucks. Let's see if it'll update now. Okay. I'll check it when I get a chance. Welcome. You said that in SoCal it's raining nonstop, supposedly until Saturday morning. That's a lot of rain. That is a lot of rain. Lord have mercy. Please stay safe, everybody. And you just finished wrapping. I had to wake up. So, because I have to wrap, right? I have to go out and buy and I have to wrap. And it's like, the part that takes so much time is wrapping gifts. So I have to literally wait till everybody's asleep. So I wake up, I went to bed, and then I woke up at like 4 in the morning and started wrapping. And then I went back to bed. I said, I'm really tired. I shouldn't be having to get up to do all this. But luckily I'm done. So I don't have to worry about it. But welcome, everybody. Welcome. Merry Christmas, everybody. For those, for us, we celebrate tonight. We do our little get together in the Latino family. Like, we get together and we do our little thing. And then we open presents tonight if you celebrate. Some of y'all wake up in the morning tomorrow, and then that's kind of where you have your day. But for us, we celebrate tonight. Welcome. Oh my goodness, James Steele. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Just get the 10 memberships. Thank you, James. Appreciate it. Oh my gosh. If you guys have been blessed, put some hearts in the chat. Welcome, everybody. I know it's early. That's why I'm a little tired still. I'm waiting for the sugar to hit me, and it hasn't quite yet. It's taking me a minute to get started. But that's okay. We're giving the people some time to get in here. Let's get started because yesterday there was some news about Diddy's appeal. He feels like he was sentenced unfairly, so he filed for a new appeal. And yeah, I mean, I guess that's up for discussion if you guys feel like he was sentenced unfairly. Yesterday we have the news, and I'm gonna tell y'all something. I really struggled yesterday after the live. I went out after the live and I was like, I got to get my head out of this news. I think a lot of us we were hoping and praying that Melody Melody Buzzard that the outcome would have been different. Especially so close to the holidays. Even though like in my mind, I'm like, she's probably okay and everything. And then the outcome came yesterday. So there's more news about that, like new footage and whatnot. It's just all very sad. And it took me a minute. And I had actually texted one of our supporters, longtime supporter, and I said, I don't know, man. It's so weird. Um, that's yeah. So we'll talk about that. And then Robin Michelle's death certificates came out yesterday, I guess. I missed that, which is fine. After yesterday, I was kind of really wiped out from all that press conference and news. I was really wiped out yesterday. I was really tired. But I really appreciate everybody being here. So we're going to get started right now. Now, hold up. Oh, my goodness. Danielle Marie has been a member for a month. Shout out to you, Danielle. Now, Heel Nona, I have not seen you in a minute. I hope you're doing well, love. Thank you so much for the super sticker. Thank you. Shout out to you. I appreciate you. Thank you again. You said Diddy's drinking too much of the Pruno. All right, I guess we should start with the Diddy news because that's what's up right now on my screen. We're gonna get started with the news on Diddy. Now, y'all, as said, some people I respect. May not always agree, but I can respect the jury's decision in certain aspects. I may not agree with it, but I can respect it. I don't tend to argue about stuff like that. Are certain things unfair? Yeah. If I find out that there's some, legitimate concern about bias or something like that in the jury, then yeah, I get it. That documentary was interesting about the juror. And if you reviewed it, you saw kind of my thought process behind that. Sometimes it seems to me that people that they go through trauma and then putting that in the context of what the judicial system should do or what justice should look like for somebody who's been through trauma, hurt, pain, death, destruction, whatever it is, it's very hard. I don't think you could ever make people happy when it comes to things like this. So yeah, that's what I got to say about that. But it was an interesting documentary, at least the couple last episodes, I thought. And I heard that there was going to be a part 2 on this documentary. I guess Fiddy is going to be doing something different. Now, is he going to include his ex in this documentary? That'd be great. I'd like to know. But I don't think he sees her as a victim, and most people don't. There's a lot of questionable things in that as well. But anyways, okay. So in expedited appeal, Sean Combs calls for overturning conviction on interstate prostitution charges. His attorney argues that Combs got sentenced 3 times longer than he should have, despite acquittals on more serious charges, because a district judge acted as a 13th juror. Now that, my friends, we talked about that. That quote, I think Agnifilo had said it outside of a press conference when the 9 defenders of Diddy looked like they were about to cry. Actually, no, scratch that. Some of them were crying. You saw Westmoreland, okay? She was really upset and emotional. Brian Steele was emotional. Agnifilo looked like he was like worried for his life. And now, mind you, after that documentary was revealed and the way he talks to Agnifilo, I said, oh, I could see why this man was a little worried, because it is what it is. He said, you're waiting for the Jay-Z documentary too? Do we have a Jay-Z documentary out there? You said, well, if he does, he takes a chance on bringing up his own DV cases. There you go. Hey, but that's a great question. Listen, welcome, Didi. Shout out to everybody, y'all. Welcome, Chico. Everybody come through. Thank you, guys. I'm seeing the people come in here. Belen, everybody. Helen, everyone. Guys, we don't have a Jay-Z documentary, right? We have like maybe channels that expose Jay-Z, but we don't really have a legitimate Jay-Z documentary or a 50 Cent documentary. I mean, some of these people are so quick to sue or threaten to sue if you are exposing certain things that they don't like expose, right? You have a lot of these commentary documentaries on YouTube, but no projects like that on Jay-Z and others. And there's been a lot of allegations on Jay-Z. Thoughts? I heard that who said that they were going to do a documentary on 50? Somebody said that was it Ja Rule? I think it was Ja Rule. Pretty sure it was Ja Rule who said it. He said Netflix banned the segment on 50 Wanted in there, so he said he's going to make his own. Ooh wee. Thank you. My goodness. No way. That is interesting. I find it so interesting how the people that Ja Rule said it, Ja Rule's so upset. And I'm trying to go back to understand. Like, I got really curious about all of the 50 beefs. And I might do a video. Actually, I have like a list of videos that I'm trying to do, but I'm trying to perfect the script so that it's easier of a flow. That's a hard part out of doing YouTube, believe it or not, is perfecting scripts, right? When you're writing and making sure that they make sense and they flow easily for people and things land the way that they need to, right? So when it comes to this situation, and I think anybody, I don't know if anybody would disagree with me, but to me, it seems like anybody that's in the music industry, I have yet to meet somebody, artist wise, that has made it really, really big that hasn't gotten their hands dirty one way or another. There are no unclean hands in this business, right? So it's funny to me when people point Diddy out, but then also fail to point their own behaviors, right? What do y'all think? What do you think? Let me know. And even if he was, okay, that rascal is gay and gay as a go. Like, well, so who cares? I don't understand. Like, is gay supposed to be like offensive? I don't get it. So what? I don't care. Y'all be quick to point out somebody's sexual preference. Who cares? I don't care if he's gay as a go. He could be that. This is not about the sexuality. It's about the criminal offenses that he made or that he did upon people, right? Y'all are very quick to point out somebody's sexuality and somehow that makes them less than of a person. Okay. Let's get on with it, okay? So his attorney argues that Combs got a sentence 3 times longer than he should, despite acquittals on more serious charges. And again, he was called the third. Agnifilo, I believe, was the one who said that the judge was the 13th juror. Attorneys for Sean Combs filed an expedited appeal Tuesday to the Second U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals, arguing it should order his immediate release and either grant a judgment of acquittal or vacate his conviction and remand for sentencing. He is sentenced. He is serving a 50-month prison sentence on 2 interstate prostitution convictions. A jury convicted Combs this summer on 2 counts of transportation to engage in the prostitution. He was acquitted on 2 or more serious charges: the racketeering conspiracy and the trafficking by force, fraud, and coercion. In the appeal, Combs argues that prosecutors failed to prove their case and that his girlfriends and third parties were adults who willingly and enthusiastically, it's quite the word to use, participated in the so-called freak-offs, days-long, rug-fueled encounters. Alexandra Shapiro. Okay, so Alexandra Shapiro was the attorney she's an appellate attorney, right? And she's the one working in the background a lot, right? And I think we saw her and the other guy who were kind of like, they did some of the questioning to the witnesses, but honestly, like, they were kind of the ones working in the background. I think they were kind of ready for this part, right, where they could appeal things and whatnot. Thank you, clearly, Shelley. Please tell them. Y'all need to stop with that, okay? Y'all need to stop with that. Thank you. I don't think so. Money and power brings you out what's inside, but doesn't turn you into a bad person itself. I think you're right about that, right? Period. I agree. Okay, so let's keep going. Y'all, by the way, everybody's excited about Christmas. I'm like trying to calm everybody down. Just saying. Shout out to everybody. So he was acquitted on 2 or more serious charges. We know this. In the appeal, Combs argues that prosecutors failed to prove their case and that his girlfriends and third parties were adults who willingly and enthusiastically participated in all this. Now, Alexander Shapiro, she's the appellate attorney, said that his sentence was illegal and that the U.S. District Judge, the judge, Arun Submarinian, impose a sentence based on an acquittal conduct, specifically the racketeering conspiracy sex trafficking charges. So she feels like he was out of pocket for that sentencing. I think because of the prostitution part, there's that violent tendency that Diddy showed in more than one occasion. That argument, and it was truly in their opening statement, okay? In their opening statement, the defense acknowledged that Diddy struggled with violent tendencies, that this was a relationship with DV, and that was what he was using to sustain this situationship, this prostitutionship, right? He was coercing them, he was telling them, you got to do this, he was engaging them, and then he was also being violent with them. Nobody can deny the violence, right? We saw that in the CNN video. Nobody can deny that violence. Everybody can tell you what they would do in that situation, but the reality is that that footage from CNN is like captured in time, right? It's this thing that's out there. Yeah, the defense even used that. So they shot themselves in the foot with that one, honestly. And I remember at sentencing, even the judge said, your defense, this is a direct quote, your defense, your team acknowledged the fact that you were violent and that you use as why you are an unsafe figure out in the community. That's not me putting words, that's literally what the defense team did. They shot themselves in the foot. They did with this one. You know, Robin, I used to think so until I felt like he has also an agenda as well. A lot of these people that call themselves in the circle as truth tellers, the way I see it is if they got on the stand, and no shade, like I can see where some people think that Gene Deal could be credible, but honestly, Robin, sometimes I don't see him very or deem him very credible. Let me tell you why. The people that took the chance and went on the stand, and I'm talking about the witnesses, some of those took what is it called? What is the it escapes my head, but if they're going to be a witness and they have to take a plea or some kind of a plea so they don't get charged. What is it called? Put it in the chat. Yo, why is this leaving in my head? Sorry, it's very early still in my mind. But a lot of these people, like the drug mule, all these people, the people that were working closely with immunity. Thank you. The immunity, not proffer, immunity. Was it it was an immunity deal. I don't think they call it a proffer. Yeah. A lot of the people, and there wasn't a lot of witnesses that took the stand, were people within the bad boy, network, right? And they went up there and took their little immunity deals. I tend to believe the people that take immunity deals more than those that go on YouTube and, say all kinds of things. And not once they didn't even make it inside of a courtroom. God knows if they were even interviewed by anybody. What made them, and also, I also personally feel like some of those people that took immunities, they took immunities because they were so close in proximity to the things that they that were there. They saw a lot of things, and they were willing. All right, like, I'll take immunity as long as I don't have to serve a day in jail. Hell, even Cassie did it too. As long as I don't have to serve a day in jail, I'll do it, and I'll take the stand, knowing all the scrutiny that they were going to face afterwards. Other people did not. Other people witnessed different things. You're good, Robin. We don't have to agree. Shout out to you. It's all love. It's all love. And I think that's the thing. Is like I give credit to those than the ones that are out here spewing different conspiracy theories and stories that I'm like, I don't know, man. I don't know. This trial was time for you to show in and show out, and you didn't. But okay. So Shapiro argued that the judge concluded that he could consider those acquitted charges and enhance Combs' sentences, thus violating his constitutional rights. A spokesperson for the U.S. Attorney for the Southern District of New York did not immediately respond to a request for comment. So this was an 84-page filing. I could definitely get the filing, but I haven't even. I'm locked out of Pacer again, so I have to call them. And every time I call Pacer, I'm like, "You are caller number 85. Your wait time is 230 some." I'm like, "Listen, Lord, I don't have that kind of time." And they have to improve their process. And that's been years of me saying this since I've been pulling documents. But anyway, so there's an 84-page thing. We could definitely look into it once I get access to it. Maybe Inner City Press has it and I'll be able to download it from him. So the interstate transportation of adults for voluntary prostitution. So this is what he was convicted with. She argues that in the filing, Combs received a sentence 3 times longer than he should have. Interesting verbiage. Than he should have. Doesn't mean that he can't receive it. He just received it 3 times longer than he should have. Okay. Making comparisons to other cases, did the other people use violence and coercion, or did they were they in the proximity to hurt people? Did they have the money and resources? Like, if we're going to compare, just saying, despite the acquittal on the most serious charges because the district judge acted as a 13th juror. Woo-wee. After an 8-week federal trial in New York, Combs was sentenced to 50 months in prison and fined $500,000, ordered to serve 5 years of supervised release. His expected release date is May 25th of 2028, according to the Federal Bureau of Prisons. So, thoughts? His attorney argues that he was sentenced in October and that the term was unconstitutional, and said that they would file an expedited appeal. That speedy appeal process was granted last month. In the filing, Shapiro says that the appeal has been expedited because her client has already served nearly 16 months of his sentence, which she says is more than the average sentence for what he is convicted of. If the court does not overturn Combs' conviction, it should release him immediately and instruct the district court to resentence him only for the conduct for which he was convicted. The filing reads, the Second Circuit rarely overturns district court filings. The U.S. government brief in the appeals process is due February 20th, and Combs' team replied is due March 13th. Yeah, thoughts, opinions? Let's see. Diddy admitted to Kane that he did in Diddy reckoning on the tape. Diddy admitted to Kane that he did. So on the 6th Saturday, the judge called everyone to court, and there he decided to change his sentence from 50 months to life. Wait, he admitted to what? To Kane? I don't remember that. But let me know, what episode was that? If those who agree to immunity on the basis they didn't perjure themselves in court, if they perjured themselves, then that could be charges for crimes. Absolutely, Mama Bear. Absolutely. Yeah, lucky he didn't get more. That's what I'm saying. James says that if you guys are buying odorless candles, that doesn't make any sense. I don't know who would do that, but maybe make aesthetically, maybe that's a thing, but shout out to James. Off topic. Did we know that the Brianna Aguilera family was planning an order? No, Flo Joe, send me the information. I didn't know that. If you see it, let me know. Manipulation 101. Okay. Thank you. You know what? The gun charges, Florida boy, the gun charges. And also, don't forget, there was the part of the, the kidnapping was part of the RICO. The gun charges didn't get added. And don't forget, that was the part of the Molotov cocktail was not even a thing, right? That went out the window. We keep forgetting about that. And who else? The defaced gun. Y'all remember the defaced gun was a thing too? Yes, that's correct. And that was Agnifilo said this at the day of that press conference, Vicky. He said that's why I'm like, I've heard this quote before. And sure enough, it was the title of one of my videos when they felt like this was unfair. Thank you, Flojo. I'll check it out. So yeah. You said incentives to testify is one of the reasons immunity is given, although charges in different courts in most cases, do not apply. You know what they could do too, though, is civilly. I mean, Cassie's being sued civilly, right, by one of the S workers. who they did business with, right? And I believe that S worker had talked to the government too and was also um happening. Yes, and that's right. It was mentioned in the Rico case, but that Molotov cocktail did happen somewhere else. You're right. That whole Molotov cocktail, y'all, that was a trip, that whole situation. Just hearing about it. Yeah. You said fewer than 10% of appeals are ever successful. Within the 10% of the time, people only get lighter sentences. So you guys think that Diddy's going to be successful in this appeal? I don't think so, but that's just me who thinks that. I could be completely off and wrong. I don't know. But y'all let me know what you guys think in the comments about that. We're gonna move on here. So if I get my hands on that appeal, I'll probably do a video highlighting the different parts. But there's some fun videos that I wanted to do. Well, fun in terms of like I wanted to kind of go back to the beefs that some of these individuals have, and maybe even explore a little bit more to that, because I just find that the whole situation be interesting, how some of these people call themselves out and whatnot. So that's a whole separate video, but when I made that comment earlier, that's what I meant, that I wanted to look into that a little bit more. So I want to talk about this right here. And yesterday, we're going to switch over to Ashley Buzzard. Yesterday was very, very difficult. And I had talked to, someone that I was like, I just that tripped me out. That whole situation just really tripped me out because, I think some of us, we were hoping that, because we were hoping, and hope is a very difficult thing to have. A lot of us were praying and hoping that she would still be found alive, that maybe she left her daughter somewhere, that maybe she was in this state of paranoia that, she just couldn't imagine somebody having or getting a hold of her daughter, or she tried to save her daughter from something. And so therefore she left Melodee somewhere. And that really kind of messed with my mind, honestly. It was very heavy. So then yesterday I was like, all right, I got to get out of here. I left to go finish the shopping that I needed to do, and just buying a couple things. And then my dad calls me, and he knows that I don't cook. He knows that I suck at cooking, but he's like, all right, I need you to go make there's a dessert that I know how to make. So I'm like, okay, this is going to keep me busy. So I'm going to go do that and then get done whatever I need to done. So yeah, I was completely checked out afterwards, but I don't know, man. That was rough. That was rough yesterday. And you could tell that the sheriff, he even struggled speaking about, like, how some law enforcement officers, like, you could tell when somebody's in it for the right reasons, and you could tell when somebody's in it, like, you could just see it. And for him, like, I could just notice this buildup on his throat as he was speaking out the words about how this little girl died. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, oh my God, we may not all agree about different things and different tactics, but it's okay to kind of humanize the people that are literally out there in the front lines. Me, I'm literally just reporting and giving commentary, and I might get emotional about certain things, but those are the individuals that are literally in the front lines, interviewing people, talking to people, and they deserve the credit and the flowers and the respect when they are handling things the correct way and doing things the right way. Not us. Like I'm just a commentator here. But you could see the emotion in his eyes when he was delivering that information. I know mine's y'all, like, mine hurt. So after yesterday, I was like, I gotta step out, man. I gotta step like that was too much. And it just reminded me why it's so difficult to do child cases, or like to report child cases. I do my best, but there's some of them that I will never understand the whole situation, right? Like the way in which people do things, what happened, and everything. And so do I. So do I. I'm still. This gets to me right here too. The Celeste Rebus, but for now we're not even going there. But maybe next couple weeks we'll likely find out some more information. You said to think about the case realistically. She shot a 9-year-old little girl in the head way too much. It sounded like more than once. One person she's supposed to trust in the whole world is your parent, your mom. That I didn't expect that. I think that took me out. I was like, "Oh my god," like I did not expect that. Exactly. Okay, so there's been new footage, I guess, of like they put out some footage of what the home looked like when they went in there. Let's get into this.
For DNA analysis to identify Melodee. The DNA from the body matched Ashley Buzzard's DNA. Then, through good old fashioned police work, detectives matched gun cartridges from the crime scene to an expended cartridge in Ashley Buzzard's house. But the actual murder weapon has not yet been found. This afternoon, Buzzard was booked into the Santa Barbara County Jail, where she's being held without bail.
So we were correct. Yesterday, like they said they found the weapon. They didn't. They didn't find the weapon. It was the shell casing. So they have not found the weapon that that was used. You know what, Misty, Gannon Stout, I know some people, and that one messes with my mind. The stepmother, that whole situation, my goodness, man. I couldn't even talk. I tried a little bit on it, and I just couldn't even talk about that without even like crying about it. That I can't. Like that one got to me so much. Another one, Harmony was another one too. It's so crazy. I can't wrap my head around that. Um, let me keep going with this. So they have not found the weapon, okay?
There's a lot more to how this case was solved and what's next in the legal process for the accused killer. Let's go first to News Nation's Nancy Liu, live outside the Santa Barbara Sheriff's Department. Nancy, what's the latest on the ground there?
Yeah, Sarah, there is such a sense of sadness throughout this community because for months, people are holding out hope that Melodee Buzzard was out there alive. But today came that tragic news that her body had been found in Utah, and this coming Christmas week, no less, adding to the tragedy. Sarah, we obtained from a source of mine some exclusive video from inside of Ashley Buzzard's house. We want to show that to you. And in watching this, I'm really taken by that little white chair, obviously Melodee's chair. This video was taken right after Ashley Buzzard was arrested this morning. You can see how disheveled the house is. It's not clear if that's how she kept it or if that is from a law enforcement search after her arrest. But you see the couches upended there and the house in disarray. Also from a source, we obtained outside the house video.
Whoa, those are all those. Y'all remember that she was getting a lot of Amazon packages and stuff like that? Correction. Thank you. The sheriff corner said cartridge, not shell. Ashley apparently used a hunting rifle. But why? Like that's the part that I can't even, and I know when the sheriff said, well, it was a filicide or whatever. And I still can't wrap my head around that. Because it's like, yeah, like you could say this, but it doesn't give motive. It still doesn't even it doesn't make sense. It really doesn't. All I can think about is that she didn't want to share her child with paternal family. That's what I think. You said that it was probably from a search warrant. It says strategic said it on this footage. Now, remember all those boxes that were being delivered? She had a lot. I mean, she wasn't shopping or anything, clearly. There's a lot going on here in this home.
Of a prayer vigil that the family, some relatives and some acquaintances, they held right outside of the house following the arrest of Ashley Buzzard. Relatives talking about how Melodee is now reunited with her late father in heaven. So just a horrible, tragic ending to the search for Melodee Buzzard, and just added tragedy coming this week of Christmas, Sarah.
That's really what we all feared this would come down to. What else have you learned about the investigation?
Yeah, throughout the news conference, I was able to ask a few questions to the sheriff here, Bill Brown, and he used the words heinous, heartless,
Yeah.
cold, and calculated in talking about what unfolded. And law enforcement, they laid out a very clear timeline of how things went down, going through that mysterious, spontaneous road trip that Ashley Buzzard took Melodee on. But I was able to ask the sheriff, is Ashley now being cooperative? We've heard about how uncooperative she's been throughout the investigation, throughout the search for Melodee. And the sheriff told me that Ashley is still uncooperative. She did not resist arrest. You can
It makes you wonder, like, what happened. That's all. You said Casey Anthony 2.0. So you have to wonder what this little girl's life was like with this obviously disturbed mother, right? Right. Oh my goodness. Congratulations to you, the light with Marissa. Yes, I'm glad. Saw you shared my TikTok yesterday. Did you start your own channel? All right. Well, you're gonna have to hit me up and tell me. I mean, send me the link to your channel, okay? Email me and let me see what you got going on, okay? I always encourage everybody to start their channels. Thank you so much for sharing. I appreciate you, and you're also a member, girl. Guys, thank you. He said, I think it was pure selfishness. She didn't want to share her. I think that's what it was. She didn't want to share her. But it doesn't make sense to me, you know? Um, what was her life like? It makes you wonder. You said you were hoping that they charge her in Utah instead of California because of the death penalty? My goodness, the family should sue the children's services because they failed Melodee. You said, so sad. I'm really curious what she was going to say in court for her defense. She's not going to speak. She is. Is there going to be a trial for her? That's the question that I have. Is she going to? What is she going to say? Insanity? A plea of insanity? When there's so much what looks to be a lot of premeditation here, guys. I'm sorry. And I know people, we went back and forth on this, and then we found out the details. And it was interesting because yesterday I was telling y'all, like, you know what, guys, this is giving me a lot of premeditation. I was saying it before the press conference, and people are like, well, no, maybe it's both. It could very well be both, but there was just so much premeditation in her part that it makes it very difficult for us to even dig into the insanity part of it. Doesn't mean she's not going to try, right? It doesn't mean it won't at all. You said, I have a feeling Ashley will never speak to what happened. I think you're right. I think you're right. I think that I see her. There's a level of stubbornness, right? In the way in which she acts, she looks, I have a feeling too that she's just going to keep that to herself. To me, she kind of reminds me of Jake Harrow. Jake Harrow has not led or told people where this baby's at, right? Or maybe he has and he hasn't just, I don't know. It's giving Jake Harrow, right? Similar, I don't know, personalities and behaviors.
see she has her natural hair. She wasn't wearing any of her wigs when she was arrested this morning. But we know that Ashley still not being cooperative. But Sarah, you mentioned good old fashioned police work. It's clear that multiple law enforcement agencies work together in building this case against Ashley. And obviously a very lucky break, December 6th, with that couple finding the human remains in Wayne County, Utah.
You know,
Sarah?
Nancy, she was arrested before for something for false imprisonment of that Tyler guy and then let go, and she was still uncooperative. So clearly, arrests don't really muscle her into cooperation.
Nope.
Where is she tonight, and what's next for her? When do we get her arraigned in court?
Yeah, she is behind bars at the Santa Barbara County Jail. We know she'll remain there until she's arraigned. She's not in the court system yet. The sheriff today mentioned that she'll be facing first-degree murder, likely. but she's not in the court system yet. We don't see a court date for Ashley Buzzard, but she is in the jail system, and we know that she will be in court shortly. So we don't know, because of the holiday schedule, whether that will happen.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download.
But all of those, when they were looking at her home in that footage, man, all those Amazon boxes are there, you guys. All those deliveries that she was receiving are right there. No need or reason to leave the home, right? You said, I'm wondering why she chose this location. That's a great question. Like, why that location? And she had to have been planning this for premeditation for a while. I'm just wondering. And so, will we ever get an answer? Probably not. I don't know. No, you said California is under a state of emergency right now over the rain? Really? I'll check it out in a minute. Wow. You said, why does Cuomo always scream at us? I know, that's why I tell him to be quiet. Be quiet, Cuomo. He's always at the end. Check us out. Subscribe. I'm like, no, not right now. This is beyond J. Carl. This woman had a complex plan to evade scrutiny, which ended up with the unaliving of that poor little girl. Mama Bear, I can agree. I just think that J. Carl and Rebecca kind of like mess with my head too, because they literally staged a whole kidnapping and thought that they were going to get away with it, right? This is the levels of just how far people will go to not be held accountable to things and whatnot. That's a whole different level, You said all the way to Utah, she was probably getting a sense of being led directly to betray her own daughter. Yeah. And I hope that, I don't know, man. I don't even know what to think. Anyways, so it's a very sad situation, and I hope that there's justice for her, because there needs to be. She needs to be held accountable. Oh, okay. I have to move on from here. I really do. M7, thank you so much. Thank you for everything. I love you, Rabbit. You are the light of my life. Aw, well, girl, thank you. Thank you. M7666, thank you so much for this. Y'all are amazing. Thank you. Happy holidays. Thank you so much. That was really sweet of you to say. We're going to talk about Rob Reiner and Michelle. So I guess their death certificates were released yesterday, and everybody's talking about it. And I guess that there's more information that's being revealed. Now, before I move on to this, let me say something real quick, because this did come to my radar last time, a couple days ago, and I didn't do a video. You guys remember when we were talking about Mimi Torres, the case of Mimi Torres out of, was it Connecticut? So Mimi Torres was the little 12-year-old who was starved and put in a barrel. And then you had mom with the crazy crop tops, showing everything and thinking that she's, Kim Kardashian. I don't know. M7, thank you so much again for this. Y'all remember that case? Please put it in the chat if you remember that. So they were receiving benefits still after Mimi's death. And with those benefits, I guess they've gotten more charges based on that. I'm here for it. I'm so here for it. She was more, she was all that and less face. I'm just saying, like, I'm sorry. I'll be like, God, Rabbit, you're just shaming the woman. No, the woman is trash and she deserves to be shamed. Sorry, not sorry. Sorry, not sorry. Okay? The woman is trash and she deserves to be shamed. Anyways, so the benefits, the SNAP people are coming after her because they're loading up the charges. Yeah. Okay. So just so people are aware of that. Okay. Thank you guys. Thank you. Just a little something, little update. Thank you. Well, Barber Fish, thank you so much for this $4.99. Thanks for giving a voice to the voiceless girl. I try. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Thank you. I am. Y'all agree. I think we can all agree. Sometimes it's okay this is where we can vent and talk and really shame the people that have been charged with these crimes. And I'm just saying, okay? Thank you. Unapologetically, I will shame that woman, okay? So, yes, which is great. Let's talk about Rob Reiner and Michelle. So these charges, or not charges, I'm sorry, the death certificates were released yesterday. It's an interesting move. I mean, they're willing to put this out here right now. You know, in some cases, it's like, ooh, this is concealed. All right. Okay. Let's get into this.
Details emerging tonight about the murders of that beloved Hollywood couple, Rob and Michelle Reiner, and of course, what the final minutes of their life might have been like. Death certificates obtained today from the LA County Department of Public Health state that the couple died on Sunday, December 14th, within minutes after receiving, quote, multiple sharp force injuries with a knife by another person. That person is allegedly the couple's troubled adult.
Do they know? And I think let me pull the death certificates. Do they know the time of death? Because I had assumed that it was like, I personally thought that this crime could have been committed hours before they were discovered. Let's see real quick. Hours before they were discovered. That was my assumption. Now I could be wrong. Hold up. I thought I had the documents here and I don't. Let's see. Yeah, I think we do. So we have a copy of those certificates. So the question that I had is like, how is it? Oh, this is so small. I can't even look into it. Y'all, I'm trying to zoom. 1 second. Can always count on the one with the most tabloids. Here it is. No, I need it zoomed. Sorry. Let me get into this, and then I'm going to try to pull the information from my phone.
Son Nick, the 32-year-old, is charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder. He's looking at life in prison without parole or even the death penalty if he's convicted. The tragic downfall of Nick Reiner reads like a cautionary tale for other parents dealing with children struggling with addiction. Nick's troubles were widely known. He'd been in and out of rehab at least 18 times, starting when he was just 15 years old. Add to that new reports that he had been diagnosed with schizophrenia and had his medication changed recently. And it's clear the situation in the Reiners' Brentwood home was complex and potentially combustible. Rob and Michelle were open about their tireless efforts to help their son. The 2015 movie that Nick wrote and his father directed, called Being Charlie, peeled back the curtain on his addiction struggles. But it also shed some light on Rob and Michelle's anguish and regret in how they dealt with them. In one LA Times interview, Rob said, quote,
This is pretty sad. Now, I'm not seeing a death time because, hold up, it says 1545 and it's in a 24-hour clock. 1545. Is that when death date is December the 14th, and they said it's 1545. Hold up, y'all. Let me get because I can't do math real quick. Subtract 12 from that because it's a 24-hour clock. Oh, sorry, y'all. 3? Is that when they were found, though, or is that the day that they died? 3? Is it 3 or 2? I thought it was 3:45. 1545 is 3:45, right? So here's my question. Is that when they were found or is that when they died? That's the question that I have. You said no, it's the death. No, it's time if death revealed just that they would have died fairly quickly from their injuries. Gotcha. I was a little curious about that. Now hold up. I didn't want to miss. Grandma Sherry has been an OG here. 32 months, Grandma Sherry. Thank you so much for your membership, Grandma Sherry. Sorry I didn't shout you out because I was looking through other things. But thank you, Grandma Sherry, for your support. You are amazing. She says that when they were found is at 3:45. So it's not really when they died. So they could have been dead for a couple hours, right? That's the question that I had. It said apparently there was a call for medical emergency. When the ambulance arrived, they called for police for apparent death discovered in home. Yeah, you subtract 2 from 5. No worries. I still have to use the calculator every once in a while, y'all. I really do. I forget my basic math. It happens. He said probably they were pronounced dead, but we don't know, right? Thank you, Anna Banana. Rabbit, I sent you a dispatch call from the day it happened. I have not heard it all. So Hold up. The 911 call? Yes, I've heard it. It's the 911 call where they're asking for backup. This is the same one. I've heard it. You did send it to me. I've heard it already, though. I think I played it in another video. It's the dispatch call. And they were asking for backup at that time. So that's what I'm saying. I'm like, I wonder if the death was several hours ago. And then they were found later on. You know what I mean? Like maybe that's how kind of things went down. Yeah, it's in the dispatch call. They asked for backup. You said, I know for my son time of death was when the coroner called it. Gotcha. So really it's when the coroner calls it, but they could have honestly have passed away several hours before that. The state may not specifically say when the victims pass. They'll say on or about, it's true, prior to 3:45 p.m. that day. What they really want to do is prove where Nick was before this, right? And even with the footage of the gas station, I mean, that really does kind of put a time frame to that. But it sounds like as far as the death certificate goes, and the only reason I'm not showing it here is because I couldn't zoom in. I'm looking to see with knife by another, and it says right here manner of death, homicide. Okay, they selected that. Injured at work, no. There's some pieces of information that's redacted here, just so people are aware. He's listed as an actor, director, producer, entertainment. I mean, all of this is just so upsetting overall, but it's like informant, name, other people that they informed in the family. It's going to be interesting to see what played up to what led to this and whatnot. And like I said, people have been saying different things about what happened at the party, what's accurate and what isn't. That's just, it's crazy. So they were in bed, so I think it would have been late or early morning, right, Cerise? That's what I'm thinking too. Late or early, and they might have, I guess it happened quick or what? Like, just so sad. Let me keep playing this real quick.
Nick would tell us rehab wasn't working for him, we wouldn't listen. And because the people had diplomas on their wall, we listened to them when we should have been listening to our son. That regret that made it even into that movie, Being Charlie, as Rob told comedian Paul Mercurio in a podcast interview about the film.
We even reflected in the film when the father says, you know, I listen to anybody with a desk and a diploma because you're frightened, you know.
You don't know what to do, yeah.
You don't know what to do. Your main responsibility as a parent is to keep your child safe. You're scared, so you latch on to, you know, experts. And what I learned is that I know my son better, my wife knows my son better than experts do, and that he is smart and and I have to listen to him.
So was it a mistake, a critical mistake for the desperate parents to listen to the experts instead of their addicted son? And if well-resourced parents like Rob and Michelle Reiner were still struggling to find a way forward, what are other parents supposed to do?
Here's the deal, man. And this is the part that I'm like, you know, yes, I feel like when they're reporting this, they're almost making him like a child, right? What are parents supposed to do? I get it, but they are kind of like when they this is a grown man that made a choice. Now, what state of mind he was in, people can debate that all kinds of ways, right? But it's just like the way that they report it. They're like, well, what are parents supposed to do? You know, I get this part. Don't get me wrong. What are we supposed to do? But it seems to me that it's like that he made a choice, y'all. Once they are adults, parents can't really do anything. That's what I'm saying. Like once you know, if your son is not wanting to seek help, treatment for, if he has been diagnosed, which we don't know, but he is consistently using rugs to treat or offset or whatever, what are you supposed to do? This is that boundaries piece, and it sucks because nobody wants to see their child on the street. Nobody wants to see their child, you know, go through anything, but this is a real thing, right? You said, hold up, people that don't have mental illness always treat the person with the mental illness like a child. So there is this like narrative of things that they're putting out there. You said, I think it's kind of obvious to people that there was something wrong with him for a while. And maybe something could have been done when he was young to prevent this outcome. 17 or 16 rehabs, behavioral, I'm assuming a lot of behavioral support and whatnot. You know, there's different things that we could sit here and say. We don't have enough information, honestly. And we are, I guess we're going to play it by ear, right? Again, people have kind of thrown out a bunch of diagnoses and we don't know the facts quite yet, honestly. You said, I wonder if using rugs so early in life coupled with, you know, and maybe this diagnosis showed up later in life or like it was there, it was dormant, whatever it might have been. It could have very well have been a thing that was out there too. Absolutely. You said Stockholm syndrome can be PTSD inducing in some people. Gotcha. I will find out more information. Like I said, right now it's so early on to even talk about what is this going to look like and everything. But the death certificates are out. You know, everybody's speculating different things and whatnot, as you know, people are going to, because that's just how it is, right? However, we still don't know the truth. We still don't know what's out there. I'm looking to see. Hold up. Everybody's talking about this acid rain situation. Is it acid rain? Is that what you guys are saying in California? Should we do a live stream about that? Because I could definitely, I mean, I'm going to be. You said that they're in a state of emergency right now? Hold up. I'm getting information as we speak. Give me 1 second. Maybe we should do a separate live stream on this. Southern California state of emergency is declared. Oh man, y'all are in a state of it's official. Yeah, let me go ahead and do a little live stream. If I find any weather channels, we could definitely look into that. Let me do that right now. But I end this here live stream because y'all know that I don't like to start on a new topic. I don't even have a thumbnail quite yet, but that's okay. And I do apologize, but Baby Bunny is here because I could hear her out there. So she might come in and out while we're reporting the state of emergency. Maybe be live for another hour or so. Let's see. Let me set this up right now. Okay, guys? We are PM. Okay, I just created the live stream now. I'm going to end this right now. I wish I could redirect everybody. Darcy, thank you so much for the $1.99. Thank you. Shout out to everybody. And Grandma Sherry again, thank you. Oh my God, y'all are amazing. Thank you for those that supported today. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Let's go ahead and we're going to head over there right now. Flo Joe, thank you. I've scheduled the live right now. You said, LOL, our rain won't kill you. Let's get into that right now. Flo Joe, thank you again. We're heading over there right now. Live now.